Welcome to Dixon, Illinois, about an hour and a half west of bustling Chicago, but it has the genteel feel of a small town. From the Dixon Arch, a lucky horseshoe that hangs over the quaint community, to the bright white boyhood home of Ronald Reagan. Reagan isn't just Dixon's claim to fame, he's a symbol of the town's virtue. Over at City Hall, generations of mayors have kept watch over the town and its traditions. That job has now fallen to Jim Burke, Dixon's mayor for the past 15 years.
If I want to find out what's on the people's minds, I go out and go through the Walmart store, and I find out before I leave there what people are thinking about.
Nobody's afraid of sharing their opinions with you?
Oh, no, not at all.
Mayor Burke may have the office and the title, but as everyone knows, it's the treasurer who really runs the town. And for more than 20 years, that person was Rita Crundwell. Looking at her Dixon High School yearbook, she looks like she was born to be a bean counter. She was a member of the school's Young Business Association and parlayed that into a job at City Hall when she was just a teen. Soon, she'd be in charge of every municipal penny in Dixon. The farmer's daughter, who grew up on a ranch down the road, had made good.
I could go in and ask her for, say, some contract with some utility company or something that might have been 15 years old, and just within seconds she could put her hands right on it. She knew where everything was at.
She had your trust and your confidence?
Yeah, she did.
Kathy Swanson, the town clerk, considered Rita her mentor.
Everybody loved Rita. She had a pretty smile. She knew her job. People trusted her. She would say to the commissioner, "Don't worry, boss, I'll take care of that." And we grew to trust her.
When Rita took over Dixon's books, the town was running a healthy surplus. But slowly, a mysterious downturn set in, and finances got tighter and tighter, and no one could get a red cent from Rita. She illustrated her budget reports with cartoons to make sure everyone got the message. Cut, cut, cut. She told the police to stretch every dollar. She told the fire department Dixon was drowning in debt. The financial outlook? Downright scary. There was no money to pave the ruddy streets. Rita would only allow a few potholes to be filled.
So how many people do you have working for you now?
6.
But that's gone down over time?
There at one time there was 14.
Streets Commissioner Jeff Kuhn said his trucks were rusting to bits, so he asked Rita for money to replace them.
We never got a truck. The best I could ever get was 4 tires for an inloader. Otherwise, I got no new equipment the whole time she was here. All I got was tires.
Even the dead couldn't escape the wrath of Rita. She raided the maintenance budget for the town cemetery to pay other bills. New money? Sure. When hell freezes over.
Were you worried about the future of the city?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rita knew everything about the town's finances, but most people knew little about her. She kept to herself and rarely socialized with co-workers, including the mayor, who she'd known for 40 years.
She was always friendly, but there was always kind of an invisible shield, at least as I felt, between me and Rita. There was just a shield. You couldn't get by it. There was something there.
There was something there, all right. For a small-town girl, she led a glamorous life. She had a couple of ranches near Dixon, another out of state. The word in town was she was privately wealthy. Her co-workers got a taste of that one day when she invited some of them out to her ranch. Inside, they saw her sprawling trophy room, cowhide furniture, even a 6-shooter chandelier. It was like Dallas had come to Dixon.
She'd pitch a big tent. She'd have a big party going, free barbecue for everybody, and she's footing the bill for the whole thing.
What'd you think of that?
I had a good time. I did. I had a really good time.
To her colleagues, she still may have seemed a bit distant. Dixon's Dr. No. But it turns out she had a heart for her horses.
Last year we showed him in the Masters at the Congress, and he won there. And then he won the Open and the Amateur here in the Wheeling class. He's out of she scores. Makes me cry because she's one of my favorite mares.
Entry number 536, I Execute class. Owned, shown, and bred by Rita Crundwell, Dixon, Illinois.
Rita was indeed wealthy, investing her money in prize-winning show horses. She was the quarter horse queen of the Midwest, racking up 69 national championships.
Receiving the World Championship trophy.
She would dominate competitions with her horses, as well as her poise and presence. Yep, everybody loved Rita. But in a small town, people began to whisper, where was she getting the money to bankroll this lifestyle?
Where did you believe her wealth was coming from?
Yeah, I thought it was all from the horse business.
She had this ranch, and it's like, well, she's really doing well in the horse business.
I honestly thought she made her money in the horse business.
Dixon, on the other hand, was bleeding money. The mayor had this gnawing feeling in the pit of his gut. He went to Dixon's outside auditor to see if she suspected that maybe, just maybe, Rita was up to something sneaky.
She says, we handle a lot of communities and a lot of county governments, and she said, I'll tell you one thing, there isn't anybody that smarter handles the books any better than Rita Crundwell. So that sent me out the door with my tail between my legs.
Oh, but this tale would take a twist. One day, when Rita was away at a horse show, Kathy Swanson was going through some financial records, normally for Rita's eyes only. That's when she stumbled upon an account she'd never seen before. She went to the mayor.
I said, Jim, I think something's terribly wrong. So I told him about the statement. He said, go and get it. He made a copy of it, and he said, I'm going to call the FBI.
Could it be that Rita Crundwell, Dixon's longtime treasurer, treasured and trusted by all who knew her, was a crook? You betcha. Even more shocking, she'd been draining Dixon for more than 2 decades.
Now I know what you're probably thinking. How is it that no one at City Hall could figure out why the town had no money? Well, every year they'd open their books to auditors. In fact, Dixon spent about $1 million on professional audits for the 22 years that she was embezzling money. And audit after audit, year after year, even the accountants couldn't figure out that Rita Crundwell was robbing Dixon blind.
So how did she pull it off? Well, first she made herself the lone signatory on all checks signed in the name of the city. Then she created a fake municipal account called the RSCDA, a fancy acronym for what was really just a slush fund. Then she would forge invoices to transfer money into that account. It began in 1991 when she skimmed $181,000. Year after year, Rita's riches just kept growing. She went on a spending spree. She had 400 horses. She bought an RV with granite countertops and stainless steel appliances, price tag $2.1 million. She bought a vintage Corvette for her boyfriend, a condo in Florida. For Rita, life was good. But like all good things, they must come to an end. As the FBI was busy building a case against her, both the mayor and the town clerk had to play along. They couldn't let Rita know they knew. Kathy Swanson said she had to bite her lip, given the fact her pay, like all city workers, had been frozen for years by Rita.
I definitely thought she was greedy. I was very angry, but I couldn't show it. When she left to go to Florida, I mumbled to myself that you better go and have a good time because it's probably going to be your last time going to Florida.
In April 2012, the FBI arrested her. Rita admitted stealing $10 million. The truth would soon come out, but not from Rita, who through it all remained tight-lipped.
Ms. Crundwell, seriously, is there anything heartfelt you want to say to the people of Dixon? It was a long time you worked there.
Turns out over 22 years, she had, in fact, stolen $53,740,394. She pled guilty and was sentenced to 235 months in jail, almost 20 years.
I would just really like to ask her why. Was it that important to live your lifestyle to hurt this many people that you did. How could you take that from your fellow Dixonite, from your neighbors, from your friends, and just no emotion whatsoever about it?
But the genteel town didn't get mad, it got even. Remember those auditors who for 22 years failed to catch on to Dixon's disappearing dollars? Well, now it was payback time.
Tonight, we have learned the city has reached an out-of-court settlement with auditors with the bank in connection with Crundwell's thefts.
They settled all right for a cool $40 million. But Dixon wasn't done with Rita yet. The town staged a huge fire sale. Everything Rita Crundwell owned was seized and sold at auction.
What may look like a festival was actually an auction.
Local media dined out on the story. Suddenly, Dixon, once famous as the hometown of Ronald Reagan, was now known for Rita Crundwell and corruption. And Dixon was going to make a buck off it.
$750, now $775. Sold him $775,000.
That was a horse sold to a Canadian, by the way. All of her horses, including Have Faith in Money and I Found a Penny, were snapped up, along with her boat, the grand piano, the tanning bed, the trucks, and the big ticket item, the multi-million-dollar motorhome, sold to the highest bidder. But it was the monogrammed RC items that sold for a premium. Seems people wanted a piece of Dixon's criminal history.
The hole underneath, you can see what kind of a rusted out mess that is.
Now the streets commissioner, who could only get tires from Rita when he wanted trucks, could finally see where all the money had gone.
They estimated it was over $500,000 worth of jewelry. And there's a huge list that came out, and my wife was just drooling and says, "Do you realize how much these are?"
Ah, yes, the jewelry, the rings, the necklaces, even the diamond-encrusted SpongeBob SquarePants pendant, gone. The auction raised another $10 million.
Commissioner Kuhn? Here. Mayor Burke?
Here.
Back at City Hall, budget meetings are a little different these days in Dixon. The town council has the pleasant problem of figuring out how to spend their fortune.
We had a couple of suggestions that we should take that money and divide it up among every man, woman, and child in town to get rid of it that way. But the responsible people, they want us to do this wisely.
As for the woman who blew the whistle on Rita Crundwell, she will forever remember the day she stopped the corruption and stood up for Dixon.
I saw the female marshal get up with the handcuffs and stand behind her. And for closure, I closed my eyes and I listened to her click the handcuffs. And to me, that was the end of the whole ordeal. It was over. She was going to prison. I had done the right thing.